What's up guys, it's Kane and this video is a guide on arc raiders. I currently have over 200 hours in the game, so these will be things I learned over time and will be sharing with the arc raiders community. I would like to kindly ask if you could leave a like on the video to help your fellow raider and subscribe if you're new. Timestamps will be in the description, so if you're looking for something specific, you can cut right to that part. Without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. Upon going to map selection, the different maps in the game could have different events. Night raids have an increased loot pool, no raider hatches, and less return points. Electromagnetic storms have occasional lightning strikes which can damage you and the arc. These storms also have less return points, and many players believe that there is an increased loot pool which isn't stated. There are also lush bloom events which players use to loot baskets which can contain fruit to be sold for profit. Different maps can also spawn different bosses, such as the matriarch, which dropped the Aphelion blueprint in its core. One thing that holds a lot of raiders back is their gear fear. Gear fear is the anxiety that players feel when they bring good loot into a raid with the fear that they will lose it all if they die. Gear fear will often lead to a clogged stash, which will prevent you from being able to maximize your stash's full potential. In order to help with gear fear, I go by the mentality, it's not your loot, it's just your turn, which means you shouldn't latch onto your loot or have a personal connection to it. Go out and use it. If you die with it, so what? You can always get more loot in a raid. The skill tree is what makes each raider unique. Upon leveling up, you will gain 1 point to add to your raider skill tree. Depending on the abilities you choose to upgrade, your raider will be better at certain skills. My current skill tree was focused on survival and mobility, but once I do the expedition, I won't upgrade some things in survival and will aim for key skills. In condition, there's loaded arms, which means your equipped weapon has less impact on your encumbrance, and a little extra, which is breaching an object generates resources. In mobility, there's youthful lungs, which increases your max stamina, marathon runner, which means moving around costs less stamina, and effortless roll, which means dodge rolls cost less stamina. In survival, there's looter's instinct, which means when searching a container, loot is revealed faster. There's also in-round crafting, which means you're able to craft in-game. Stubborn mule, which means stamina regen is less affected by being over encumbered. Broad shoulders, which increases the maximum weight you can carry. Looter's luck, which means the chance to reveal twice as many items at once while you're looting. And the last one is a controversial one, which is security breach, which will allow you to breach security lockers. A lot of people don't like security breach because they're not as good as when the game first came out, but I still think the security breach is still really good. There are 3 different types of loadouts you can do in arc raiders. A zero loot run is when you bring nothing to a raid to not worry about losing any loot while maintaining a safe pocket. I often use this method to look for blueprints during night raids. Something I also like to do during these type of runs is bring adrenaline in case I need to run a far distance or run to a certain part of the map that I'm looking for loot at. A free loadout run is loading in with a kit which will grant you a weapon, shield, bandages, 1 shield recharger, and 2 pieces of utility. Majority of players use free loadouts to not worry about losing their own loot while being in a position to gain a fellow raider's loot. The downside to free loadouts is not having the safe pocket, which means there's no guaranteed item in a raid. A custom loadout run is bringing any type of gear, which means you'll have to provide your own loot when going into topside. A lot of players avoid custom loadout runs due to the gear fear mentality. Also, ignore this, I was just putting something together just so you guys could see what a random loadout will look like. There's obviously like no heals or anything in here, but let's just ignore that. Utility is very important in arc raiders. Using your utility properly could define whether you win or lose a fight. This ranges from using explosive or fire grenades to bait your opponent out of an area in a fight to making sure you're paying attention to your own health. When using a free kit, pay attention to your utility because depending on what you have and what your situation is, you can win a fight with a rattler and a grenade or get away from arcs with a lure grenade. A lot of people struggle with what they should bring for their custom loadout, so this part of the video is dedicated to that. We have our augment, which is just a basic looting MK1, your shield, you'll have your weapon, you'll have your ammo for whatever weapon you have. And these are the key essentials. You want to make sure you always have bandages, shield rechargers, adrenaline, and a piece of utility. For this little part of the video, I just got light impact grenades just to show, but this is basically the type of stuff that you'd want to bring. If you have an augment with the safe pocket, which I'm pretty sure all augments have safe pockets, then you can also carry ammo in your safe pocket as well. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do that. I personally don't do it, but I've seen people do that before. I usually use my safe pocket for whatever item I find in the raid that I want to bring back. But yeah, a lot of people put their ammo in the safe pocket as well, so there's that. This part of the video is dedicated to the basics of movement. First, we're going to start with stamina management. When you first start running, your stamina bar won't show until you've been running for around 4 to 5 seconds. You have to pay attention to your stamina because moves like dodge rolls consume a lot. as you can see, like right there. You should also refrain from letting your stamina bar get too low in case you need a dodge roll or slide behind cover. As you can see, I have like little to no stamina, so I could barely move. And once I start moving slow like this, it's way easy for arcs and other raiders to shoot me. So that's something you should pay attention to. The next movement basic is the ability to use ziplines how you intend to use them. A lot of people make the mistake of not looking at the direction they want to go towards, which can cause them to go the wrong way. So basically, if I want to go up on the zipline, if I just look straight and I hit the zipline, it's going to make me go down. So in order for me to go up, I would have to go to the zipline and look upward to go up. So if I go look up, it will take me up. One thing I also like to do for the ziplines, I like to jump before I hit the zipline, because in my head it allows me to like get a little bit of like footing off the ground or get there quicker. I don't really know how much of a placebo that is, but I usually just like run, jump up, and then look at the zipline like this, and I'll like jump off. But yeah, another thing to do with ziplines is hitting the zipline right as you're about to land. So you can go and press whatever your zipline button is at the last second, so you're not taking damage. So you can go like that. You could also do it a lot closer to the ground to take no damage. So if I were to do it again, I can go like this, and I won't take any damage on the zipline. The next movement basic is being able to roll off of platforms for smooth movement. What I mean by that is doing a sprint roll in order to take no fall damage. So basically, if I run off and just land on this car, I'll take fall damage, right? But if I do the movement tech, I should take no fall damage. So I run at the edge and I'll do the roll and I take no fall damage. So it might take some time to practice when you first start doing it, but if you can get this involved in your Arc Raiders gameplay, it'll be very useful in order for traveling and taking no damage. The next thing that raiders struggle with is swapping between their left and right hand mode. This is one of the key mechanics in the game, so it's best you figure out how to use it effectively. If you want to be able to play to your best ability, swapping between these two can easily win you engagements against other raiders and prevent you from taking damage from both raiders and Arc. As you can see, I'm in left-handed mode right now, and I'm able to peek over this wall. If I was in right-handed mode, I'd be staring at a wall and my back would be out in the open, so I would just be able to get shot easier. But if I swap between left, I could have a clear distinction of what is able to be viewed on this angle. If I go to an angle like this where the right hand is more dominant, if I swap to left, it's the same thing as the other side. But since I'm swapping on the right, I'm able to see and I'm able to take cover easier, which will make me not take damage from anything that's shooting at me. So yeah, one thing that you should practice, if anything, is mainly that, because like I said, that's one of the key mechanics in the game. Lastly, we're going to talk about being able to mount, which is landing on the side of things. A lot of people actually don't even know how this mechanic works, and they don't have any confidence when they do it as well. So basically what I like to do is I just hold space. Honestly, that's like the easiest way to go about it. If I aim for right there and I run and jump and I just hold space, I should be able to land on the side of it and take no damage. That mechanic is really simple, but it's very effective. It's another one of the most effective mechanics in the game, being able to take no damage, and it's just super useful for being able to get around the map. So yeah, once you can master this, I think you have down the basics of movement Arc Raiders. The same logic that applies to ziplines also apply to ladders. So I could run, jump off this ladder and hit it the last second, and I won't take any damage, any fall damage. This one's short and sweet, but this has to do with breaching. If you go to the side of a door and you breach it, you'll be able to look around depending on what angle you are. So if I'm breaching it from the left side, I'll be able to see on the right side. And if I breach it from the right side, I'll be able to see the left side. So it's good for being aware of what's going on around you, and you should also utilize that tip as well. Next up is the basic yet effective PvP mechanic. These mechanics will help you win more engagements against other raiders. So before we get into this, you have to know the difference between dodge rolls. The first one is just a normal dodge roll, which is that, and then there's a sprint dodge roll, which makes you go a little bit farther. So this first move that you're gonna do involves you sliding, which is obviously just a typical, just normal slide. You're going to slide, shoot your enemy, and then dodge roll out of the way. This was popularized by a YouTuber named AMP. I'll link him in the description. So what you're going to do, once again, is you're going to slide, shoot, and then dodge roll out the way. Well, sprint dodge roll out of the way, okay? What this does is you're able to get a bullet off, and you're able to dodge out of the way in case the enemy tries to shoot back. So this is the first really effective move that you want to do in terms of PvP. It's more effective with like SMGs and shotguns. But yeah, you're gonna want to aim at their head, shoot, dodge roll out the way. This next move is spamming your crouch mid-fight. What this does is it dodges your enemy's headshots, which will lead you taking less damage. Basically, you're gonna just aim at them and just full on just spray. Like, you're just gonna just shoot and then spam your crouch. So think like this. It's pretty easy to do, but it is pretty effective as well. You literally just spam your crouch while you're moving. You can also spam a crouch and then just roll in order to get out the way as well. And your enemy would probably just be really thrown off and they'll probably miss majority of their shot. Okay, so this last move is jump shooting. This move is effective because you throw your enemy's aim off while you're still landing shots on them. So in order to do it in the middle of shooting at them, you're gonna jump and you'll still be landing shots on your target. So it'll look something like this. There's not really much of an accuracy penalty for when you jump, from what I've seen. So that makes this technique like pretty good in order for you to win fights better. Also, your opponent is probably not going to expect you to be jumping around while you're aiming at them in the middle of a gunfight shooting at them. And you're more likely to win the fight if you're able to pull this off in the right scenario. So to end off the video, I'm going to show off my NVIDIA control panel settings. For brightness, I leave at 50%. For contrast, I put the 55. For gamma, I put the 219 around here. And I also put my digital vibrance on 60%. This is really good for night raids. This also depends on what monitor you have. I have a 360 Hz OLED monitor, so it looks really good on my screen. But yeah, depending on what your monitor is, you might have to mess around with these settings, but this is what I like to use. Alright guys, so that's gonna be all for the video. If you did enjoy or if you learned something new, be sure to leave a like on the video, and also in the comment section leave some more tips for your fellow raiders. There's probably gonna be other people watching this video that I probably don't know as much as you, the viewer, know, so you could help someone out by leaving a comment and put some more information in the comment section. So yeah, be sure to leave a like and subscribe as well, and I will see you guys in the next video.